So today I want to do a quick review of the dimension tool. There's one thing, sort of the default for one thing that's changed in 23, possibly seen it in 22 as well. But if we go to the dimension tool, here in the info box palette right here, you'll notice geometry method. This option right here was basically single click option was selected by default in the out of the box work environment. Make sure that that's unselected. The reason for that is if I select that and click on a wall, you'll see it's going to dimension the thickness of that wall. Unselecting that, I can click on the wall and it highlights the width of that wall at the core, or if under dimension details I say that I want to dimension the outer faces as well as the core or just the core. So outer faces only, I'm going to dimension that width. Reference line only is also another good way to do that. So again, that's only going to put a mark right there. So if my reference line, for example, is on the core, then that reference line sits right there. So when I dimension, you'll see that there's only one hot spot right there. And then here that reference line is right there on that point. Again, just clicking on that wall when I get the point. I can click on the center point of that door, highlight, or hovering over with that pencil tool, I could see that I'm on the door and not at a wall edge, so I can locate that as well. And then double click and place. And I just threw this together, so nothing's really at an even dimension. Now, because this is at the reference line, if I change this, say to core outside and say OK, you'll notice that the dimension stays relative to that reference line, the wall shifts over. So really the one thing I wanted to point out here was in the dimension tool, this dimension with single click really isn't that useful when you're dimensioning walls, this option right here, because you really rarely ever want to dimension just the wall thickness. And if that is selected and I click on that wall and then click on that wall, obviously like it just doesn't do anything for me. So just make sure that option's unclicked.